Today on Talk Stoop, we're celebrating Pride Month. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Talk Stoop. It's Pride Month, and we're honoring that with fun and engaging conversations with some of my favorite celebrities. Let's jump right in with our first guest turned into my new best friend, Carson Kressley. We talk about the influence that his show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, had on the LGBTQ community and so much more. Carson, I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks for having me. I love what you've done with the place.
Don't you love it? This beautiful, expensive apartment. And here we are with the Stoop.
Yeah, you upgraded your Stoop,
yes.
girl.
And here you are wearing white jeans looking fabulous.
Well, you know what? I'm pushing. I know it's not yet summer, but I'm over the cold weather.
Yes.
So I'm kind of like, if you wear it, it will come.
Right.
So I'm dressing like it's spring, even though it's cold out.
When you see someone dressed up, are you automatically judging them by their shoes, their outfits? Being that this is your profession and you're a guru.
Yeah, no, I am a little guilty. Like, you're supposed to make eye contact, but sometimes I make shoe contact first. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, you're good too.
Here.
Yeah. But judging sounds so judgmental.
I know.
I'm always like taking it in.
When you see me, what do I tell you?
You are in entertainment. You look fun and approachable, but you're still like beautifully made up. Your hair is stunning. You look friendly, but you look chic.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good,
I like that.
Yeah, friendly chic.
Friendly chic.
That's what I was going for.
Did this come natural to you since you were young? Just clothes, style, fashion?
It's a gift, I guess, but I do remember, I had a very stylish family. I'm 8 years younger than my sister, but when I was like 8 years old, it was time for her to go to the prom, and I distinctly remember going prom dress shopping. One of the greatest days of my life. And she was like, oh, should we do this frilly seafoam? I'm like, no. Let's do something chic and columnar. And I was like, my sister's like, what is columnar? You're 8. But like, I just wanted it to be like, like a column. And it was kind of a Greek-inspired. Columnar. I think that's a word, I'm not sure. But I've been telling people that since 5th grade. And she was the prom queen, so.
No.
Yeah.
So you've always had it. And how did you know?
I've always liked it.
Are there any celebrities that you're just a fan of when it comes to how they dress?
I love Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like grew up with him, but like he's a guy that like kind of isn't afraid to wear a lot of really cool things. And he never looks like a stylist has like put him in this. He doesn't look like of the moment.
Right.
He looks like Lenny Kravitz. And that to me is when someone is doing it right. When they have, that's called personal style. And that's when they really exude it and you're just like, oh my God, that's totally a Lenny look.
Right.
And I once met him at an event and I was like all like gobsmacked and weird and you don't know what to say. You're like, hi. I was like, hi. And he's like, I'm a fan of yours. I was like, what? And I was like, I'm a fan of yours. And then like for the next hour at the event, I was like with him. I was like, tell me something else. Like, and he was like, security. But I love his taste.
Now you grew up in Pennsylvania.
I did, I was practically Amish. I was. I've been very, very lucky. Like I grew up as a little gay kid in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and the whole, riding the school bus and getting picked on and thinking, it's tough. Like 7th and 8th grade, not fun. But then I was lucky, like personally, I did the show Queer Eye, and I distinctly remember like being back home in Allentown at the Lehigh Valley Mall, and I was used to like being like, ooh, there's that queer guy. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, you're that queer guy. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Can I get an autograph? Right.
So that kind of thing, I think the world has changed a lot. I think there's, so many great strides we've made. There's marriage equality, but there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of hate crimes. There's still a lot of transphobia. I think ignorance, I think that's really the seed of most hate out there. And I think we just have to, when somebody knows somebody that's LGBTQ, any of that, it puts a face to it and you say, well, there's nothing scary or wrong or weird about that, and helps move our rights to the place where they should be, which is equality. God, I'm like a politician.
Yes, you
I felt
are.
like Elle Woods for a second. I'm running for Congress, y'all. Look out, Alexandra Ocasio-Davis.
I can't with you.
Did I say that right?
No.
I knew I messed that up.
It's okay,
Next
but you're
time.
running.
I do love her though.
Yeah.
She is like Elle Woods. She's fabulous. Yeah, she's so good.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Season 11, RuPaul's
Season 11 Drag Race.
As the hits just keep on coming.
There's no other show on TV where the contestants have to do comedy It's helpful if they sing. They have to dance. They have to act. They have to know how to sew. It is insane. So by the end of the run, we have discovered somebody who is the total package, who is America's next drag superstar.
My queens, welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Ru has a great quote where he says, like, drag doesn't conceal the person, drag reveals the person. And you really get to be out there. It's about tapping into who you really are and letting that shine.
I want to talk a little bit about you.
Yeah, please.
Back on Bravo.
We're gonna be designing homes. Look out, America. But I kind of, sort of, don't really know what I'm doing. Just broke the chandelier. I'm an idiot savant, but the savant is silent.
I think people are really interested in design, and I think people are really interested in living well. So, it'd be fun to take a novice like me and educate them on what it is to do a high-end interior design project.
Who came up with the title?
I'm good with the title.
I love it.
So there were many other titles that didn't make it. I had One Nightstand. I thought that was sexy. Sectional in the City.
I like that.
They didn't buy it. By, B-Y, Felicia, because that's Tom's last name.
Yes.
And then Carson in parens. By Felicia. I thought it was so good.
They didn't buy it.
Nope. And then I think all of us maybe came up with Get a Room Together, which I think is really cute.
It is cute, because I definitely, when I first heard it, I didn't think that was going to be what the show was about.
Right. It sounds like maybe we're offering a sex therapy or something.
And I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting. But this is
no, we're just talking about ottomans. Sorry.
Sorry, and lamps.
And lamps. I could buy lamps all day. And pillows. Don't get me started.
I love pillows.
I'm totally addicted to pillows. I'm a maximalist.
Yeah, hello.
It all brings me joy.
It makes you creative.
Yeah, no,
What's
it's
everyone so mad about?
Exactly. Calm down! I like my stuff.
Well, thank you so much.
You are so
Carson.
welcome. I loved being here.
I love you so much.
I love your new Stoop. I love your view.
I could talk to you forever.
I could as well.
I love you.
Thank you for watching this special 3-hour edition of Talk Stoop.
Next up, we have multi-talented power couple Jonathan Adler and Simon Doonan. Jonathan Adler and Simon Doonan are match made in heaven and relationship goals. We got to talk about their love story and what makes their relationship work. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I love your Prabal Garang.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Casey who styles me. So now that you both are just obviously have been busy with your careers, and I know you're on a new show. You're a judge on Making It on NBC.
This is so much fun, and the creativity is off the charts. You know, there's so much passion now for making stuff yourself. People are putting down their phones. And they're making stuff, paper mache, decoupage, macrame, knitting, you name it.
That's so much fun though. So you get to do
I'm
something.
very lucky to have scored that show. In fact, fun fact, Jonathan Adler.
No, tell us.
Jonathan Adler auditioned for it too and didn't get it.
So it came down to the two of us for the final role. And I thought to myself, of course I'll get the role. And I was trying to be very magnanimous to him and say like, oh darling, I'm sure you're in competition. You know, you might still get it. But in the meantime, I was planning my wardrobe, kind of thinking about some catchphrases, imagining what hotel I might stay at in LA.
This is great.
And again, I was very magnanimous because one has to be, you know, when you know you're obviously gonna get the role. And then the call came and it was him. And I was just like, wait, what?
And then he was just like, you know, 2 crosses and a zigzag for a mouth.
But I got my own back because Simon had to film in Malibu for 28 days. So, of course, I just told everyone he was in rehab. I was like, he's in Malibu, 28 days.
You know.
Can't really talk about it, but he'll be
lost
back.
guys,
Just be supportive when he's back.
Which I think added to my kind of mystique.
Right.
You know.
He went away to Malibu.
Yeah, he has
Malibu
an
for
interesting
28 days.
backstory.
You know, times can be a little bit challenging, and be supportive. You know?
Right, that's so much fun. How's it been for you, Jonathan, to have such an incredible, iconic lifestyle brand?
Yeah, it's been, I would say the word would be unexpected. So yeah, 25 years ago, I was like unemployed and teaching night classes at a pottery studio in Hell's Kitchen. And my parents were like, dude, like you went to an Ivy League college, we're still paying the bills. What the actual, and like, and they said, you know, you gotta sell a pot or like figure your life out. And I sold a pot, and then I sold another pot and kept selling more pots, and then never with any plan whatsoever. Like I'm happy to say that I kind of bumbled into it gradually, authentically.
Do you remember what it was that initially gave you your first big break? And you're just like, yes, I can pay my bills. My parents are gonna be proud of me.
So I got my first order from Barney's about a year before we met, and it was a true life-changing moment. And we actually met on a blind date. And he knew who I was because I was selling my stuff at Barney's. And of course I knew who he was because he was kind of a legendary celebutant. And when we met, I thought he was going to be Little Miss Fancy Pants. And I was, at the time, a very gritty and real potter, as you can tell. And cut to, he's not Little Miss Fancy Pants. He's actually grittier and realer than I am. And now here we find ourselves.
Pretty.
So was it love at first sight, or how did this work? We love these stories. Tell us.
He was 28, I was 40. I thought...
Just saying.
He was 28, I was 42. I thought he's not going to be particularly interested in me. I liked him, he was very interesting, fun.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I think men peak at 42. 42 is the peak of men. So I got him...
Right at the peak.
Right at the peak, and needless to say, it was like here, and then it's just been...
If you guys could give any advice for someone, a young person who wants to share about their sexuality, wants to tell their parents, but they're scared, they're terrified.
In my experience, of course, it varies.
Right, of course.
For different people, and they're based on their circumstance. Right. But of course, for me, all that fear it goes away the second you say it, and it's incredibly empowering. For me, it was just the best thing I ever did, and I don't know what I was so worried about.
How about from you, Simon?
Again, it comes back to not being too reliant on external validation. You gotta love yourself, and if you get into the gay world, you'll find plenty of other people who'll love you, and that's where you draw your strength from. And not be overly reliant on your parents' approval, because they may approve,
and they may never.
Not. You know, and they may still be good people who just really cannot wrap their heads around it.
How are you two getting ready for Pride? Ready to go.
You know, I've lived in New York for almost 30 years, and to see where we've come, right. And when I got here, it was during the height of the AIDS crisis. Mm-hmm. And, you know, now we're at this incredible moment where we've come so far, and Pride is always a reminder of how great we have it here in America.
Right.
You know what the most fabulous thing about being gay is? Okay, so picture me, it's the 60s, I'm figuring out who I am. I wend my way to a gay bar. Talk about diversity. Everyone in there from all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, all colors, men, women, drag queens. You know, you're with all these other people who have this one thing in common, but they're posh, poor, you know, black, white, all shapes and sizes. It's actually a really, and I've always been hugely grateful for that. It's like, wow, this is great. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Thank you two so much for being here today. Had such a great time.
Thank you. We loved it.
Of course.
Thank you, darling.
Coming up next, we have the amazing actress Natalie Morales. Accommodations for Talk Stoop are furnished by 277 Fifth Avenue, the tallest residential condominium on Fifth Avenue in the heart of Nomad. This 55-story tower, designed by architect Raphael Vignoli and interiors by Jeffrey Beers International, offers 1 to 4 bedroom units, including a stunning full-floor penthouse. With an ideal location just 4 blocks from Madison Square Park, 277 Fifth Avenue offers fine finishes and a host of thoughtful amenities, including a curated lobby library, a gym with terrace over Fifth Avenue, a playroom, a dining room, a games lounge, and more. Contact 212-227-2775 or info@277fifth.com for a private tour. Our Pride Month celebration continues now with my conversation with actress Natalie Morales, the star of NBC's new show, Abby's. Natalie shares the deeply personal story of her coming out experience and why having support during that time is so vital. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
mean, I'm sorry for spring. The weather is just, you know.
Yeah, but at least we have a good view.
Yeah, it's a nice view.
Yeah,
we can look at the rain from different angles. Like, it's just really nice.
Yeah. Be warm in this room and look at the rain. Yeah.
So I was reading up about your history a little bit. So you're a Cuban descent.
Yes.
That's pretty
I'm
awesome.
first generation, born in Miami. Yeah.
Yes. How old were you when you went to LA to start?
I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do this? Do you remember catching that bug and you're just like, okay, yeah, this is
did. I do. I took a theater class in high school, and I was like, oh, I can make people laugh at me on purpose when I want to, and not just all the time. That's cool. That I can control that,
Right.
and I decided to pursue it.
And so when you first got to Hollywood, did you feel embraced? Did you feel like, man, this is tough? Woman of color, like it's hard.
No, I had blonde hair when I went to LA, and everyone was like, you have to dye your hair brown or no one will cast you as a Latina. And I was like, why? Like, Latina women go to hair salons.
Right.
Also, Argentina exists.
Right,
They're
right.
all blonde. What are you saying? I mean, we all are trained to think this way. Like, any story is always defaulted to like a white guy. Like, even when you think of like a guy walks into a bar.
Right.
What do you picture in your head?
White guy.
Yeah. You don't picture like an Indian dude.
Right.
No. It's always that, because that's always what we're
Programmed.
Yeah, it's just always been the neutral.
Right.
Anything different than that is something else, right? When we're all people and we all
Right.
like exist here, and all of our stories are a baseline.
Right.
So it's I'm excited that it's starting to sort of shift, and other people's like perspectives are being shown, and the world around us that we see every day is being reflected.
And Pride is coming up. How exciting is it for you, and how, when you first came out, how liberated did you feel? 'Cause
I
it's
felt
so
great.
important.
Yeah, I felt great. It's a hard thing to do for me because I'm a really private person, and I don't love having a label attached to like who I love. I just know that I'm not straight, and that I fall in love with people no matter what's happening in this area. It doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
And I knew that there was not a lot of representation out there
Yes.
for that. Like, if I had seen someone that I liked from television, you know, come out and say that, and like be like, I'm still living a normal life. I'm happy. I'm healthy. My family and friends love me. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. It would have made like a huge difference to me as a teenager.
Really?
Yeah, I would have been a lot less depressed and thought that I really thought something was wrong with me for a very long time, and I know a lot of people out there think that. So I was like, you know what? If I can like lose a little bit of privacy and help like one person, whether it's a person that feels like me or a person that's like maybe a parent to a kid like that,
Wow.
or a friend or a neighbor or a brother, then it's worth it. Like, it's totally worth it to normalize as much as possible, and to be like, hey, like, it's okay. You don't have to be anything other than you, and it's fine. It's gonna be okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is so important, that, you know, people who are watching who might be in that position feel strength hearing this from you, because that's so important. And you went after your dreams.
Yeah.
And you're happy, and here you are. And we
Yeah.
do look like Christmas decorations.
I know,
by
we
the
really
way,
do.
but, I mean, that's
It
a
is
whole different-
spring, but
it is spring,
here we
but
are.
we're ready for
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
So let's talk about your brand new show.
Yes.
Abby's. This is wonderful.
We're gonna find Abby.
Who are you?
Abby's landlord. Is this a bar in my backyard?
What? My character just kind of has a backyard bar that is hush-hush and only neighborhood people know about, and there's all these like rules to stay in to become a regular. And people love it. It's like where you go at the end of the day and all your friends are there and you just go hang out there. And it's, I wish I had a place like that.
You burned both your hands.
Guys, I'm fine. That'll be $7.50.
Natalie, it was such a pleasure to have you
you.
today. You are so amazing, and we appreciate you. Thank you
you.
for being
That's nice.
unapologetic.
Up next, a glamour goddess, Gigi Gorgeous. Gigi Gorgeous is an LGBTQ icon and has helped so many people feel comfortable in their own skin by sharing her life on her popular YouTube channel. She also reveals more in her new book, which is a great read. It is not a lie. Gigi Gorgeous, you are gorgeous.
Thank you, takes a village.
But this is just, you know, casual glam on it.
It's definitely not casual, I will say that. I was coming to talk to you, so I wanted to do it.
Oh my gosh, am I okay? Am I done up enough?
Yes,
okay, good.
you look fabulous, I love this.
Thank you, shout out to Ellen. I don't know where Ellen, but she's an amazing makeup artist. Okay, so did you think putting your YouTube series together was going to turn out the way it was, where you have this incredible career and you're inspiring other people?
No, it wasn't even like on my radar.
Stay gorgeous.
I started when the beauty community was just like starting out. So I was just like trying to channel my creativity somewhere and just really not be a kid, like an angry, angsty teenager in high school, and put my energy and creativity somewhere else. And YouTube just happened to be that. Eventually, I just started sharing what I was going through personally, which was hard because no one else was really doing that at the time, like coming out videos.
And I'm so happy I'm finally sitting down and talking to you guys and letting you guys know that from this point forward, I am a lesbian.
When you decided to do that and come out and share that with the world, like, do you remember that?
100% I do. I had no representation growing up. And that's why I'm so proud to share my story now, because if I had seen someone's journey, let alone someone's I am transgender video, online or in person would have been amazing, but that was a far cry from Toronto because I really had no trans friends. I would have been like enlightened so much earlier in my life. So now, like, sharing that and just putting that out there is so, like, it's so rewarding for me, because a girl that I met, and I talk about her in my book, she basically was the first transgender girl that spoke to me about the trials, the tribulations, the steps that you need to take, and was just very, like, broke it down for me in a way that I could, like, process in my brain and be like, oh my God, this is for me. Like, this is me. It's, you know, like, this is the road, this is my next step, this is my next chapter. So, like, I really thought that that was important to include in the book. But of course, everything else in the book is my story, and that's...
Oh!
Is that it?
Welcome to New York!
It sounds like it's next door, though. Should we just be like, shh?
Right. Do you guys want me to keep going over the noise? Congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
He said, she said. What's this book about?
Obviously, I started out as a he, and then now I'm a she. So it's kind of in the perspective of he back then, and then she now, and it's like tongue-in-cheek. He said, she said, very gossipy.
So were there things in the book that you were scared to reveal and talk about?
So I feel like with this book, I had to do a lot more reflecting, and I think sometimes you can even share more through words than you can through visuals.
Right, and it's not gonna be a soundbite, right? Where
it's well thought out.
Right.
You can, like, construct it the way you want. Yeah, completely.
I feel like that's really important. I was actually on your YouTube page, and it was the sperm bank episode.
Yeah.
Me being a transgender woman and her being a biological woman, we had the idea of going to see an IVF specialist.
Well, we gotta let the viewers know to watch that video, because it does get deep and it is an emotional one. We have always wanted a family, both of us. That's something we really hold dear. Those are our values. So when we were talking about it, we're like, okay, well, adoption is fabulous, you know, surrogacy is amazing, but if we could have our own baby just through the two of us, like no he said, she said, if you will, that would be amazing. So we looked into it, and it didn't have a positive outcome, but just watch the video because all the details are there. And I was just like, I don't know where to end this video because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is where I'm at.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see any of these interviews again, just head to our YouTube page, all right? And I'll see you next week.